Hey guys, my name is Veronica Rodriguez, and along with my classmate Chris, we will go through our case study on the company Zipcar. Some of the things that we will talk about are the challenges this company faces, as well as the RBV model analysis, and we will finish it off by giving some recommendations to the CEO. So to get started, let's talk about what is Zipcar. Zipcar is a car sharing company that was founded in the year 2000 by Robin Chase and Anjay Danielson. Later acquired by Avis, Zipcar is widely known for being the world's leading car sharing network. So how it works is by becoming a member, customers receive a Zip card that allows them to make online reservations for vehicles. Members can do so through their app or the online website. Zipcar is available in urban areas as well as college campuses and over 500 locations. And Zipcar is known to be different from its competitors since there is little to no customer-employee relation, all due to its use relies mainly on technology. So let's get started on some of the main challenges. As we can see here, integrity is one of them. Inspect and report could easily be falsified, thus resulting in contradicting statement from customers. So we have here a Yelp review that someone wrote that says, most of the issues have been with dirty car interiors, gas tanks that were on fumes, and cars that reeked of smoke. And one lowlife who did not return the car and stuck us without one. In addition, the registering process is not as simple as they make it seem. So for the people who are not, tech savvy, are having trouble using this service, and poor customer service is not helping with the easy experience of the Zipcar service, which goes back to what I mentioned, how there's little to no interaction, the customer and employee, because it mainly relies on technology. The idea of Zipcar is genius, but however, with the technology hiccup, poor customer service, and integrity of people, some may wonder, why is the company profitable? Here, according to one of our sources, but Zipcar is doing well. You might say, sure, the company has grown its membership base, established itself in markets across the globe, and acquired competitors. But guess what? Since launching the company in the year 2000, it has yet to turn a profit. In fact, after generating just over $33 million in revenue last year, the company incurred a net loss of $5.3 million. And recently, the company exit strategy is geared toward seeking a $75 million IPO to pay its debts. So, according to the same source, whenever they have to rent a Zipcar, they can't get one immediately because they have to wait 7 days before they can get the Zip card. So, what solution can we bring to this? Because if someone was in a car accident a few weeks ago and could have really used the solution of having a Zip card for a few hours, but because there's such a lengthy application process, this person was off to Hertz or Avis. So, were these the fault of Zipcar? Obviously not. But I wonder if the offenders are warned or penalized in any way. Probably not, as I still have to deal with nonsense three quarters of the time I get a car. So that's one of the Yelp reviews that we found. And they gave it 2 stars from users from New York.
Hey everyone, my name is Chris Reed, and I'm going to walk you through the Resource-Based View, or RBV for short. Before we jump into how the RBV model relates to Zipcar, let's take a look at what the RBV consists of. So in 1991, Jay Barney wrote an article called Firm Resources and Sustained Competitive Advantage. And what Barney posits is that a firm with heterogeneous resources distributed across a firm can build a sustained competitive advantage over time if certain empirical indicators are present. Now, the RBV holds that sustained competitive advantage can be achieved more easily by exploiting internal resources rather than external resources. Now, if you recall from the text, we read about Porter's 5 forces, which is a very common business model for understanding external factors such as traditional SWOT. And so the RBV holds that it's really internal factors that make the difference in sustained competitive advantage, and not so much focusing on external factors. Now, there's two types of firm resources that are important to understand: tangible and intangible. Tangible assets are associated normally with physical capital, such as machinery, cash, inventory, buildings, real estate, and financial capital. Intangible assets are a little bit more nebulous, and those consist of human capital, such as IT skills, recruitment, innovation, proprietary models, brand value, shared values, and trademarks. And what the RBV model posits overall, the easiest way to remember this is that superior resources can equal sustained competitive advantage. And what Barney considers sustained competitive advantage when the resources within a firm make it difficult for other competing firms to imitate or duplicate the business, since those competing firms don't understand what Barney refers to as causal ambiguity. And we'll talk about causal ambiguity in just a little bit. So here we see the RBV framework as Barney referenced in 1991. So again, we see that firm resources are heterogeneous and firm resources have immobility. And if those things are true and the firm has value and rareness and imperfect imitability and substitutability, then that will equal sustained competitive advantage for the firm. So a couple of other important things to look at as far as the resource-based view framework goes is the VRI framework that Barney came up with in his article in 1991. So basically, the easiest way to remember this is that if these four empirical indicators are present, then the firm can have sustained competitive advantage. So the first one is that we look at here is valuable. If the firm resources or capability are valuable, so that'll enable the firm to improve efficiency and effectiveness overall. Is the firm resource rare? So the firm is implementing a value creation strategy not being implemented by another firm. So that's very important as well. The next one is costly to imitate. So these are a little bit more nebulous indicators. So unique historical conditions. In other words, how the firm was founded and how its business structure was originally set up. Causal ambiguity. Causal ambiguity is created when other firms don't understand why the business is successful. They're not able to easily imitate it because they don't understand what is making that firm successful. Is it management? Is it a new technology innovation? So that is what causal ambiguity explains. And then social complexity. And the last factor for the RBV to assume sustained competitive advantage is non-substitutability. So competitors are not able to find alternative ways to gain the same benefit. To sort of better illustrate how the VRI framework can help a firm maintain sustained competitive advantage, we can take a look at the VRI framework that Rothermel came up with in 2013. And it's basically adapted from the VRI framework that Barney came up with, except it's more of in a flowchart format, as you see here. So we can ask ourselves, is the resource capability valuable? Yes. Is it rare? If it's rare, then is it costly to imitate? And is the firm organized to capture the value? If all of these four indicators the firm can answer yes, then it might be able to maintain a sustained competitive advantage. As you see here, if you start at the top and you ask, is the firm valuable? Is the firm resource valuable? No, then you're at a competitive disadvantage. So basically all of these factors have to be true in order for the firm to have a sustained competitive advantage. And now we'll take a look at the RBV model as it relates to Zipcar. So does Zipcar have sustained competitive advantage and value creation? Well, I would argue that yes, they do have sustained competitive advantage. Zipcar has a proprietary technology and a first mover advantage with their custom designed and proprietary platform that allows for many different integrated activities, whether it's member sign up, online wireless reservations, keyless vehicle access utilizing the RFID that Zipcar calls the Zip Card, and other technologies such as a GPS locator to find a Zipcar that's close to the user. So Zipcar has really invested a lot in a proprietary technology that no other competitors can model because they have this technology as a patent. So not only is it hard to duplicate because of technology, but it's impossible because it's proprietary. So next, if we look at the top part of the RBV view here, this is just on the business to consumer side. Next, Zipcar went into the B2B business model with their proprietary enterprise platform called Locomotion by Zipcar. Zipcar acquired Locomotion in 2015 and has built on top of their already proprietary model to enter the business-to-business fleet car management vertical. And so this allows businesses to share vehicles effortlessly, increase their fleet utilization, and streamline operations. So this has made Zipcar a B2B disruptor because they've now entered into a new market with fleet vehicle enterprise management. And another thing that Zipcar has done, which has made them successful, is they've forged some very important strategic alliances. So, for example, Zipcar has partnered with Honda to create an exclusive car-sharing fleet of Honda vehicles, and Honda is in turn going to offer special rates on Zipcar memberships to students on select colleges and campuses, and also give them special driving rates as well. So this is another example of a great use of Zipcar's strategic alliances to further separate themselves from the competition. And last, we'll take a look at the Zipcar RBV model that Team 7 came up with. So if you remember from Chapter 2 in the text, we had reviewed a chart for Zara's RBV model, and now we will review the Zipcar RBV model. So this is really easy. If you remember the last couple of slides, we talked about what makes or will help a company have sustained competitive advantage, and we see those empirical indicators here: value, rarity, imitation, substitution, and transfer. So from the IT side of things, the IT infrastructure for Zipcar, the value and the rarity is high for Zipcar, because Zipcar owns a patent which enables use of mobile devices for reserving assets such as an automobile using TCP/IP communications. So this is straight from the patent language. So any other company that tries to duplicate this technology will not be able to, because Zipcar has put a patent on it. The value sustainability, it's difficult to imitate since the model is proprietary, and it's moderate for substitution, and we thought this just because technology is evolving and existing firms could conceivably utilize future technology or the Internet of Things to try and imitate what Zipcar has done. For the information repository, it's a high value for Zipcar and rarity, as Zipcar has a current fleet of about 12,000 vehicles, 1 million plus members, and that's across 500 cities and 9 countries. and the Zipcar B2B fleet management business has a huge repository of important information as well. It's a moderate risk of imitation and transfer. Uber, Lyft, and other rental agencies have large data repositories as well, and conceivably, if they could come up with a similar model not utilizing the same technology, it could be a problem for Zipcar. On the IT capability, the technical skills are moderate, as if you remember from the text. There are IT skills which are obviously could be transferred to other companies. Now we have to take into consideration the historical aspect of those IT knowledge workers and their history with Zipcar, because that knowledge would not be easily transferred to another company. And again, it's difficult to transfer because of the platform patent, and it would be impossible to transfer the patent aspect of the knowledge because it would be illegal. On the IT management skills, there's a high value rarity because of the acquisition by Avis. So Zipcar was acquired by Avis, and so there are some IT management skills that would have transferred over to Zipcar from that perspective. And that would also be difficult to imitate, transfer, or substitute those resources. Relationship skills, externally focused. So this is high because a new strategic partnership with Honda for colleges and universities. Moderate as Zipcar begins to expand B2B offering with enterprise businesses and local governments with the local motion side of the business. And on the value sustainability, the imitation and substitution is low. While Zipcar does have proprietary technology, other ride-sharing operators could try to duplicate the partnerships with other manufacturers and universities. For example, Uber could conceivably partner with a car manufacturer to put some vehicles on the road that could be lower cost of ownership for Uber drivers. On the relationship skills and spanning, we said that this was low rarity of spanning, as Zipcar seems to have customer experience issues currently. So we learned from the last couple of slides on the challenges. So Zipcar does have some customer experience challenges that it needs to work through. And it would be easy to duplicate, as another ride-sharing service could conceivably come up with another technology patent and or enhance the customer experience to make switching for users a better alternative. So that's the Zipcar RBV model. I'm going to turn it back over to Veronica, and she's going to walk us through the CEO recommendations. Thank you.
Okay, so now let's talk about the CEO recommendations for the Zipcar CEO, Scott Griffith. So first, it would be to expand market growth. Currently, there's Zipcar for businesses and universities in over 500 campuses. Per US News article, there are currently over 4,000 colleges and universities. Of this, Zipcar has only captured 15% of the total market population. So opportunity to seek additional relationships nationwide and target a younger population that could use the service for more years. Also, there are currently 275,000 businesses that use Zipcar for business purposes. So similar to Zipcar for universities, there's a tremendous opportunity to continue to expand market share for more businesses nationwide. And according to the 2015 United States Census, there are currently 5 million U.S. corporations, and Zipcar has only captured 5% of this population. So for global expansion, India and Japan represent great global expansion opportunities because a combined population of more than 2 billion people. And Japan, ride sharing is new, so it represents a market opportunity. So another one is sustained competitive advantage. So Zipcar should continue to invest and evolve in technology. This includes expanding their current app to be more user-friendly and streamlined, smart key card, and GPS. The technology from the consumer to the car to the parent company is strong and must be maintained in order to remain dominant in the industry. Okay, and now we're going to talk about increased customer satisfaction. As we can see, reviews on bestcompany.com give Zipcar 1.5 out of 5 stars for customer service. So clearly, clients are dissatisfied with the local wait time when one calls and issues start arising from the pay card. So as a result, the CEO, can implement a text to call system within the app that would alleviate the consumer from long wait times on the call. Just consumers would simply text the company that they need to speak to someone, and the company would return their call, notifying them the exact callback time. I know a lot of companies have that, and that's very smart. Instead of just waiting on the phone for like 30 minutes till somebody answers your call. So this would manage the customer expectations while simultaneously increasing their satisfaction. We can also see inconvenient cancellations. As we can see, they're not handled properly. Quality control of the vehicles. Customers say that vehicles are dirty, frequently not fueled up, and it's simply more convenient to use Uber or Lyft. And cost of rental. Initial cost of rental will be it's less expensive than traditional rental cars. So longer rental miles driven equals higher rental fees. So as we can see here, these are some examples of some of the issues that have come into play with Zipcar. So just to read you off one, let's read the first one. The problem is a customer on the phone has used the wrong payment card. So ideal business outcome would be to update the correct card ASAP to push payment along. And the ideal response would be to reassure that it's all right and update card information on the same call. However, the reality is they tell customer they haven't properly read the instructions, send them to update info online and on their own. And just to give you another one, customer calls and complaints account creation is taking too long and they're frustrated. The ideal business outcome would be to update correct card ASAP to push payment along. Their response would be to apologize and reassure them that they will solve this immediately, then call the correct party right away. However, the reality is, once again, we can't speak with you, only the license holder. Have him call us. So unfortunately, these are situations that do make the customer very frustrated. So there are many ways to go around it just to make the experience for the customer much more better. And okay, another one is current pricing structure. So maintain cost leadership structure and ride sharing economy. So Zipcar should maintain cost leader price structure but watch overage charges. Maintain affordability against its competitors, which are Uber and Lyft. The cost structure, $7 to $10 an hour depending upon geographic location, and review the monthly fees and overage charges. So Zipcar is often more affordable than its competition, though prices vary slightly by location. A typical weekday reservation would be, as mentioned, $7 to $10 per hour, or between $60 to $90 per day. Car-to-go's per minute rates range between 35 to 45 cents, with hourly rates between $12 and $15, meaning it's only cheaper for brief trips. With base fees per mile and per minute charges, Uber and Lyft are more expensive than Zipcar for trips of any length. And increase consumer flexibility. So ending reservation is non-flexible. Consider alternative locations to allow flexible drop-off. Car2Go currently allows their consumers to locate and use any vehicle on the street. Zipcar has parking spots taken, which can lead to being a hassle for its customers. So increase flexibility by allowing users to drop off in safe zones. Zipsters are allowed one-way drop-off, only select few allowed privilege. Zipcar relies upon users to clean and refuel vehicle. Zipcar should deploy field reps to clean and refuel vehicle fleet. So every Zipcar has home locations, such as a surface lot or a parking garage, that can be changed by users. While you don't necessarily have to return your Zipcar to its home lot, one-way rentals offer added flexibility. You don't have to return it to a Zipcar lot. And these are our references. You guys can click on this link just to see where we got all our information from. So thank you so much for listening and watching our presentation. Please leave us any feedback. We're looking forward to reading everything. Thank you so much.